Hey Famalam, happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope you've been having a great week. It's May tomorrow. What in the actual F? But I wanted to hop in here really quickly today to give us kind of a pep talk, close out the month with a different kind of thought process in our head so that we can enter a new month just doing things maybe a little bit differently. And the pep talk that I want to give us is based around our internal dialogue. Sis, how many times does these two words go through your mind? I can't. How many times? A day, probably. Do those two words go through your brain? And I bet you money, I bet you actual literal money that if somebody came up to you and said, yo, I need you to do X, Y, and Z thing, or, oh, could you just give me blah, 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 you would find a way to do it. Yeah? We tend to be able to figure it out when it's a deadline at work, or there's something for school we need to do, or the kids need something, or our spouse needs something, or our community needs something. We figure it out, right? We find a workaround, we find a solution, we find a way. We say it all the time, right? It is what it is. I guess I'll have to figure it out. Why is it then that when it comes to what we need to do to be our best, so when we need to work out, when we need to put down the cookies, when we need to take some time for ourselves, when we need to sleep in, when we need to go for a walk and spend some time in quiet, when we need to pursue that business opportunity, when we need to tell everyone to just get the F out so that you can have a moment, why is it that we always say, oh, I can't do that. I don't have the time for that. I haven't got the energy for that. I'm not motivated to do that. Oh, why is that? Why is it that we're so willing to push the boat out and find a way when it's stuff that other people need, other people's demands, other people's wants, other people's desires, other people's objectives? But when it's for us, we so easily fall back on those two words of I can't. Think about that. It actually hit me, and I shared it in my Instagram stories yesterday, but it actually hit me in my workout. I was doing like the 12,000th burpee or something. And I was like, oh, I can't do it. And I had to give myself a second and say, yo, Sabrina, if Gio was asking you to do something, you'd figure it out. If your brothers needed something, you'd figure it out. If one of your best friends was struggling, you would figure it out. So figure it out right now. Get on the ground and do another burpee. Like, I had to give myself that talk. And sometimes I think that's what we need to do. We need to treat ourselves at least as well, fight at least as hard for what we want as we would bend over backwards for everybody else. Just think about that for yourself. I don't know if that resonates with you in any particular way. Maybe there's something that you've been meaning to do, but all of those things come into your mind. Oh, I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. Why don't you have the energy? Because all your energy is spent doing what they need you to do. Why don't you have the time? Because all your time is set aside for what they need. It has to change. At some point, it has to change. Otherwise, we're going to spend our lives constantly thinking one day, someday, maybe I'll get to me. If anything about what the world is going through right now, if there's anything about that is teaching me a valuable lesson, it's the fact is we don't know about tomorrow. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know if one day, someday, maybe is ever going to come to pass. All we have control of is this present moment and how we show up now. So with this new month energy coming, like rolling in within 24 hours, start to think about making a different choice. Start to think about having a different narrative and a different thought process so that you can actually do for you, for maybe the first time in your life. And I get it. They matter. I get that. But so do you. At least as much. And that's one of the reasons why our hashtag Choose Peace challenge is so focused on choosing peace, making daily decisions, taking daily actions that force us to look inside, force us to take care of ourselves so that we can finally be like, okay, yes, I'll get to whatever it is you need after I've done X, Y, Z for me. And here's the beautiful thing about that, guys. It can seem selfish. It really can. And I get that too. But when we give to ourselves first, we have so much more to give others. We have so much more energy. We have so much more focus. We have so much more excitement and vibrancy than we would have if we were scraping together the energy and the motivation and the commitment to be able to even just show up for them. All of a sudden, there's an abundance of energy. There's an abundance of excitement. There's an abundance of joy that you want to spill out and infect everybody else around you. Infect probably isn't the right word. But I want you to think about that, guys. We get started on Monday. This challenge is 4 weeks long. We've got a special hybrid workout calendar that you're going to be excited about moving your body every day, combining 2 different exercise modalities. So you never know what's coming. So that's that whole, what do I get to do today? What do I get to do today? How do I get to pour into me today? And that's what we're going to focus on. Lots of nutritional education. So you can turn your back on that pantry siren call that we've all been experiencing and clean up your diet, clean up your nutrition, figure out what works for you when it comes to your nutritional strategies, and also get some education around why that stuff works so that you can continue it after the 4 weeks is done. You've got the community, so much support, so much accountability. These people are absolutely incredible. And I just, it gives me so much joy that I get to spend time with them. And I want you to be a part of that. So comment below, send me a message if you feel more comfortable with that, and I'll get you more information, kind of all the package options, all the different options you have to join us and get started on Monday, because we're going to choose peace during this time, and I really hope that you choose it too. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, guys. Mwah! Bye.